Coming up on this week's episode of Flashtalk, Kent State Gymnastics head coach Brice Biggins previews regionals for a few individual gymnasts. Baseball head coach Jeff Duncan talks about his team sweep over Toledo. Assistant Director of Compliance and Name, Image, and Likeness Malik DeVese talks about the importance again of the Blue and Gold Collective. And finally, Lacrosse head coach Brianne Tierney talks about what her team needs to do to get some wins in MAC play. All that and more coming up in a flash. Welcome back to Flash Talk. Dane Richardson joined alongside Kent State Gymnastics head coach Brice Biggins. Coach, once again, congratulations on the MAC regular season title. Another fantastic season. Taking a look at that MAC championship finish, what did you think overall from your team in that meet?
I thought we did a really good job. We started on a tough event, which for floor is really a hard event to start on, and it was something that we knew we needed to kind of step up on because it's been a little bit of an issue this year for us. And to be honest, we did probably the best floor set we have all season. So we gave ourselves a great start. Really had some nice vaults. We probably stuck more vaults than we had all season, which is a great testament to them. Bars were okay. We just had a couple little things that hurt us a tiny bit. And same thing on beam. When it comes down to 4 1/4 tenths in between the top 4 teams, those little things can come back to bite you a little bit. But overall, really proud of the team and the way they performed and, how they held themselves together.
You guys won every single individual matchup, so undefeated regular season champions in the MAC. How difficult is that?
We've got such a balanced group in the MAC right now that you have to be on your best every single week, whether it's home, whether it's away. And obviously when you're away, it's even that much more difficult. So to be able to win every single time in the MAC really is a huge statement. Hasn't been done for quite a while. The last couple of years, it's been shared. The regular season title has been shared just because it is that difficult to beat everyone all season. So we are extremely proud of that and something that we were really, really aiming to do this year.
You do have 3 individual gymnasts that are moving on to regionals. We'll touch on every single one of them. We'll start on floor. One of your seniors, Alyssa Guns. How excited are you for her? This is her 4th time competing in a regional.
Just is almost unheard of. To be able to qualify 3 times herself as an individual and then 1 time with the team, you can't say enough about what she's been able to do her entire career. She just has been so steady, so dynamic over there that we're really happy for her that she was able to qualify. And she's got a great shot. She's got a great routine. She's got confidence right now going with her. She is the last routine up in the meet on floor, so she'll know exactly what she needs to move on.
Heidi Schultz, another gymnast, she's going to be taking a shot on beam, and like you said to me before, she also has a shot to take it even further.
Heidi is one of those beam routines who it's so rare to see a kid compete the way she does. The confidence that she shows, the personality that she shows up there, she's so comfortable up there. While you see most kids kind of hold back a little bit and they're a little tight, she just has a smile on her face the entire time, attacks the routine the way that you're really, truly supposed to attack beam. And, I really feel like if she goes out and competes the way she did at MAC championships, she's going to give herself a great opportunity.
Charlie Boehner, she's going to compete on vault. What do you think of her chances?
Charlie is a very dynamic vaulter. She's got a 995 start value, which will hurt her just a tiny bit. That little half of a tenth does make a difference sometimes in the big meets like this. But Charlie does some huge vaults. If she can go out there and stick a vault, then once again, she's going to give herself a great opportunity.
Who are some gymnasts, Coach, that you think took a step up that might not be competing in regionals like Guns, Boehner, and Schultz, but that you're proud of and are excited for their future?
One of the people who had a great year, even though she is qualifying, is Charlie Boehner. I mean, she stepped up from doing vault and bars last year to doing bars at an extremely high level this year, did vault very well. And she also added floor. And so as a junior that will be a senior next year, I think she took great strides in really becoming a great leader on the team. Gabby Riley, a little sophomore for us, had an unbelievable year. She was kind of overlooked a lot of times because she was our leadoff on a couple events. How she led the team off on both floor and on beam were unbelievable. She maybe didn't score the way she could have if we had her down later. But she truly is one of our unsung heroes because she was a rock for us all season. Nastya Rudnitskaya obviously started the season off a little bit tough. I think put too much pressure on herself. And when she finally kind of dialed in and relaxed a little bit, we truly saw the type of gymnast that she's going to be. And I think she's looking forward to having a great senior year. And then Ashley Morgan, another sophomore who really stepped up and filled in some spots. We know the type of competitor she is and what she does. And we saw some great improvement from her.
Kent State Gymnastics head coach Brice Biggins. Coach, we appreciate the time.
Thank you very much.
For every just one more mile to your next ace on the court, when you have a sports-related injury, Cleveland Clinic is here. For our Cavaliers, our Guardians, and athletes at all levels, our sports medicine team helps keep you in the game. With expert diagnosis, personalized sports therapies, and game-changing surgeries. For every injury, for every athlete, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Today, the world could use a little more understanding. Understanding nurtured by shared values. We come together at Kent State. Different dreams, different viewpoints, united by purpose. Preparing to make a difference in our divided world. Wherever you are in your life's journey, come learn with us. Begin at Kent State.
Welcome into Flashtalk. Dane Richardson joined alongside Kent State baseball head coach Jeff Duncan. Coach, a fantastic series sweep at home over Toledo. You broke out the gold unis for the first time this season. The story was your pitching. Fantastic starts, Gavin Jones, Jacob Bean, Eric Chalice on Sunday, followed by Rocco Bernardina. What can you say about your pitching staff's dominance in those 3 games?
Gavin's second straight really quality dominant start to start off a weekend is great to see when you have somebody like him. This is a guy who came from Alabama. We got off the portal. A kid that we recruited out of high school, North Royalton. We lost that battle out of high school, but came back here. We got him from the portal. We're happy to have him. He's got a mid-90s fastball. And what's unique about Gavin is his fastball isn't the same every time he throws it. Sometimes it cuts, sometimes it sinks, sometimes it rides. So it's a really good pitch for him. And then when he can land his slider, he becomes very, very tough for any lineup on a Friday night. So he set the tone for us. And then you just see a guy like Jake Bean, who is growing before our eyes. We knew he was capable. Another great arm. But his mix he was attacking with fastball. You can see it in his demeanor and his mentality, how confident he was in his fastball. And then he was able to bury some guys with his slider and changeup, which was really good. His slider, especially on Saturday, was excellent. And just to see the confidence and the joy he had out on the mound was contagious. Yeah. I think for our defense, defensively, we played so well. We played our best defense all weekend, and all year, and we pitched it as good as we have all year as well. So that's a good sign for the Flashes.
Seemed like your offense, maybe not the best we've seen it all year, but they came up in big moments.
I think a great example is on Friday night when we had bases loaded, nobody out, and Micah Kirikoff comes up, flies out not deep enough to left, and then Hayden Yasik, who's arguably the best hitter in this league, comes up and he pops up a rare pop up to first base. And then Jake Casey comes up. To navigate through those 3 hitters and then hitters behind even Jake Casey, somebody's going to step up, and Jake Casey did with a 2-out, 2 RBI base hit to get us on the board. And it just opened up from there for the rest of the weekend. And Toledo pitches it very well. It was the best pitching staff we've seen so far inside of the league. And I thought we didn't get frustrated. We handled our business. When one guy didn't step up, the next guy did. And that's a really good sign for us.
Something that is new to Kent State baseball this year for fans specifically, they have the dugout club they can contribute to for Kent State baseball.
This weekend at Schoonover Stadium, especially with the great weather, we saw great crowds. And we call it Scoonie Magic inside of our locker room. It's contagious for our team. But to answer your question about the dugout club, it's something that we added to our atmosphere of Schoonover, but it's also an added addition to our program as far as our program benefits. It goes right to our program. We have 32 members of the Dugout Club, and this is the first year we have done it. And it's been awesome to see it grow. And it's something that our whole staff is involved with too. So it's not just me, Coach Birkbeck's involved with it. Coach Lance McDonald, who played here the last 3 years and then is now helping coach, is heavily involved with all of that. But it's a nice little patio area down the first base line. Free hot dogs, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a joy just to see that patio full, because over the years, it's always been empty.
With this 2025 team, they look like they're having so much fun. How much of a joy is it for you to come into the office here?
I always think about our seniors, Jake Casey, Hunter Klotz. He's been through so much in his career. He tore his labrum. And then he hadn't played for a couple of years, and just to see the success, and he's just that role guy in that 6-7 spot for us in our lineup and play good defense. To see those type of guys really succeed this year, to get out of my car and go in the locker room every day is a joy, man. Like, I have the best job in the world because these guys have so much fun in our locker room, in the weight room, at practice, and they have so much fun competing with each other and for each other on any given weekend or weekday. It's a blast, and I'll tell you what, we're just getting started, and I think we have something special brewing this year. And you talked about the tradition. We've won 6 championships in the last 10 years. It dates back 2014. We went to the NCAA tournament. Won the regular season in 2016, won the regular season again in 2017, and then won the regular season and tournament in 2018, and then we just won the regular season again in 2023. We're looking to add to that tradition here in the last 10 years and put another championship up on the wall.
Coach, we appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dane. Appreciate it.
I think you can do so much from traveling the world. So many people just stay in the box that we live in.
The study abroad program at Kent State made it clear what path I should be taking.
Experiencing the different classes to experiencing the art and the buildings and the culture. I'm just hoping to take back everything I've learned and be able to apply it into whatever I do in the future.
Kent State has basically helped to set up the vision for the career that I want to be able to go through.
Welcome back to our Flashtalk studios, now joined by Assistant Director of Compliance and Name, Image, and Likeness at Kent State, Malik DeVese. I know you pitched the Blue and Gold Collective, specifically Coach Rob Senderoff signing an extension with the men's basketball team to continue being their coach, but a lot of players announcing that they're back. How important is that step up for not only that team, but just around the university and NIL?
Yeah, I think it's super important seeing that all the guys saying that they're coming back, they're excited to come back, their reasons for coming back. I think it shows not only their excitement to play under Coach Senderoff, but also their excitement to play at Kent State, playing in Kent. And it shows how much this community, this city really means to them.
I know Kent State has partnered with the Roy app. Roy, Return on You is their slogan. So tell us a little bit about that. I know you can donate to specific athletes with that app.
It's a way to get involved and get more interaction with the athlete outside of just seeing them on the court. As with your donations, if you donate $10, $100, however much you want, in order for that money to be received, they not only have to commit to coming back for the next season, but also doing an interview. So it's a great way to get a little bit of insight into who the athletes really are and learn a bit more about them off the court.
Another partnership that you helped foster was Pitching Change. So tell us a little bit about that, Malik.
Yeah, Pitching Change was a really innovative, really cool program service that we found just through them working with other universities and conferences. It's a way for people who are not the big money, big pocket donors to feel like they can get involved in a way that's doesn't cause them to do a lot. Just sign up, and then maybe a $5 coffee gets rounded up to $6, and that dollar goes to the collective. So small things like that, but the small things really help a lot.
I know specific athletes have certain NIL deals. Deanna Gray has done a nice job. She's done some things with Green Lending. Janae Tyler also did a partnership with 1910. So How are some of these specific athletes, and who are some of those athletes that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, there's a lot of athletes all over, whether it's Logan Henderson of volleyball, Danny from gymnastics, Deanna and Janae, like you mentioned. I think their willingness to kind of step out of their bubble and try those things, while also wanting maybe some of the student athletes who haven't quite gotten involved, but whenever I talk to them, they're super excited and want to learn about it. But definitely Janae, Deanna, working with 1910, that was a really cool thing. That was one of my first opportunities I got to foster and see. Yeah. So it's really cool being able to come in and help them kind of learn more about NIL and be a part of their growth.
Tell us a little bit about LaunchNet. I know you mentioned that to me before we started this interview.
This Wednesday will be the third of a 3-part series that we worked presented by LaunchNet. It was an NIL brand series. This next one is centered around social media content, so helping them promote their brand and how they can do it through content, keeping things fun and creative, just giving them some tips on how to do that, whether it's doing their personal brand or doing it for business. I think LaunchNet has been really, really helpful and really wanting to help us out, and we've been really accepted, really thankful for it.
How important is this summer going to be in terms of creating innovative ideas to come in next fall to create more opportunities for Kent State athletes? For
the student athletes to be able to get out into the community, meet some of these business owners around Kent, and kind of show them how that there is this fun, innovative way to market their business by using some of our student athletes, and it also gives our student athletes a little bit of experience in working with brands and marketing and being creative. And I think that it's a great way to foster these relationships between our student athletes, our athletic department, and the businesses and people in the community.
I have to assume that's very rewarding to see some of your ideas come to fruition and see athletes get a little publicity and also make some NIL money off of that.
Definitely. It's fun to be able to explain the idea to not only the student athletes, but the people who own the businesses, work for the businesses. And once you kind of explain the small parts, you see their eyes light up and you see the creativity creative wheels start to turn. So it's really fun to see it from the beginning to the production of it.
Tell everyone at home how you can donate to the Blue and Gold Collective.
I believe it's the blueandgoldcollective.com, and you could donate there. If you want any other links, you can find me on Twitter. I'm usually live tweeting some games, quote tweeting some of the athletic programs around. But if you need any help, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. It is just at Malik DeVese. I'm pretty accessible. But yeah, that's one of the great ways is the Blue and Gold Collective.
We always appreciate the time. Go Flashes.
Thank you. Go Flashes.
Coming up this week in Kent State Athletics, brought to you by KSU Ticks. Kent State men's and women's track and field has a 2-day invitational in Slippery Rock. Kent State baseball looks to continue their winning ways with a 3-game set Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Central Michigan. Softball hosts Ball State for a doubleheader Saturday and then faces off in the final game of the series on Sunday. Women's lacrosse visits the school down the road for a draw at 12 p.m. on Sunday, March 9th. Women's lacrosse visits Louisville for a 12 p.m. first draw, and baseball travels south to face Ohio State for a 6 p.m. first pitch. As always, you can get your tickets at ksutix.com. If you want more information on your favorite Flashes teams, visit kentstatesports.com or visit the Go Flashes app. We'll be back with more right after this.
When it comes to reaching your goals, having the right support can make all the difference. That's why we trust Green Lending, Kent State Athletics' exclusive mortgage partner, to help you achieve your home ownership dreams.
Just like on the court, everyone has a role to play. With the right teammates, any dream is possible. Green Lending is here to be that support to help you make those big moves in life.
Visit greenlending.com and let Green Lending help turn your dreams into reality.
Green Lending, helping Golden Flashes achieve their biggest dreams on and off the court.
The Army was my home, and I loved it. It gave me a lot of opportunity. Kent State has been probably the most friendly when it comes to veterans. So far, I'm 4.0 student. Most of it's been because of the help of the professors. Now that I'm older and I want to learn, I feel like I'm learning more, faster, and it's a lot more fun.
Joined in our Flash Talk studios by Kent State Lacrosse head coach Brianne Tierney. Coach, you got a big week coming up, school down the road coming up this weekend on Sunday. Your team's 1-1 in MAC play. We'll touch on both of those games. Big overtime win over Central Michigan. How important was it to start 1-0 in MAC play on the road?
It was great. I mean, the conditions were gross and kind of one of those games that you just have to gut out. And I said to him at the end of the game, this is MACtion. This is MAC play. You're going to go into overtime and go in confident. And every game's going to come down to 1 or 2 goals. And luckily we were on the good side of that one. So starting out 1-0 was great for us. Takes a little bit of the pressure off. Obviously it's still there as we get into more MAC games, but I think just starting out on a good note against a Central Michigan team that we've traditionally struggled with was awesome.
You fall to Detroit Mercy at home. That was a game, though, you had control most of that one. What do you think you guys could have done better in that?
Everything. I think just kind of let the nerves get the best of us, kind of fell to things kind of spiraled a little bit where we had to be a little more disciplined. We had to be way more poised against a Detroit team. So good learning opportunity. We can bounce back here this week and with Mercyhurst and then go into Akron. Hopefully fixing a lot of those things.
What were some of the biggest focuses in practice this week?
We had a great week of practice, super competitive. We didn't have a game to prepare for, so it was just focusing on us and competing and going fast and doing a lot of scrimmaging. So a lot of situations, a lot of really thinking through what we need to do in certain opportunities and certain moments. And, we didn't have the worry of overdoing it before a game. So it was a great week of practice. Everybody came out and just progressed, improved, made some changes, and really looking forward to this week.
You've had a handful of players put the ball in the back of the net, a very balanced offense this year. How difficult does that make it for opposing teams?
I think we play really great team offense right now, and that's a wonderful thing. You don't know who's going to have a great day and who's going to maybe pop off. So that is difficult to scout. I think any team has to have good, solid team defense against us. But at the same time, we're looking to kind of highlight any weaknesses on their defense. And so we have a lot of people who can do that. So it's exciting.
Sydney Davis has had 2 strong games in a row at the goalkeeper spot. What have you seen from her performance, and how has she improved from the start of the season until now?
I think she's just gotten her legs under her. She's so confident, and she's really leading the defense now. So she's been super vocal and just kind of taking control down there, and got the experience. She's a sophomore still, and I think we forget about that sometimes with how she's playing, but she's doing such a great job, so I'm proud of her.
You got the school down the road, on the road, upcoming this Sunday. You guys took them down fairly easily last year. Jackie Wolford went off in that game at Dick Stadium, but how motivated is your team going to be knowing this is a rivalry game?
That's right, and any MAC game is important, but I think the rivalry here is one that's thick, and we have a new assistant coach, Sarah Reck, who just graduated from the school down the road, so we have a little bit of a behind the curtain insight, and that's great to have. But we're the wagon wheel is something we always look forward to and really highlight and focus on. College rivalries are the best part of college athletics, I think, and so it's going to be a really fun game.
How much excitement does that give you, knowing that you have a young group that's very, very talented that could do some damage this year in MAC play?
Yeah, and just gaining experience, that's the biggest piece for us. So every day, every game, and it's crazy to believe we only have 5 left of regular season, and they're just progressing every week and gaining more and more valuable experience and being led by these five seniors.
You have a couple of non-conference games left, specifically Mercyhurst, also on the road at Louisville. I know they're not as important in terms of the MAC games, but what can you learn from those type of contests?
I think what we've done so well all season and with our out-of-conference opponents is really focusing on ourselves and where we need to develop and the things that we need to do to be a great team. And so, those things, learning how to scout, learning how to adjust in game are really what we focused on at a conference, and we'll continue to at Mercyhurst and Louisville. And one of my former assistants is now the assistant at Louisville as well. So that's exciting to be able to see her again.
The Flashes look to improve to 2-1 in MAC play. That's Kent State Lacrosse head coach Brianne Tierney. Coach, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
That'll do it for this week's episode of Flash Talk. Make sure you tune in next week as we dive deeper into the heart of the spring season in Kent State athletics. For our entire GFTV studios, Ethan Lachinsky, Justin Spots, I'm Dane Richardson saying good night and go Flashes.
As you know, Kent State Athletics, our basketball team has historically been a huge part of our athletic department. We have a winning tradition. We always bring a great game. But in today's day and age, the basketball game itself isn't going to entice the average fan. We really need to come over the top. We need to do these exciting things like they do in professional sports. And without sponsors or partners like Ken Ganley, we wouldn't be able to afford to do like tonight, the esports night with the Ken Ganley game room. Also being able to do the $10,000 putt at halftime that they're supporting. So those types of things help us advertise and get out into the community and maybe reach people who are not just the average basketball fan. They also help us out off the court. So many of our faculty, our staff, and our coaching know that they can go to Ken Ganley Chevrolet, get themselves a vehicle in a short amount of time without having to shop everywhere. They're so important to us on so many levels that we're just so grateful that they're a part of our family, and I don't know how we would live without them.